Skipper here. So today I'm back with a new ship, a ship I really haven't, played much before, if ever before. And it is the tier 8 Italian destroyer, the Adriatico. And this is a surprise. I mean, I really like this ship. And I guess it's no real surprise, honestly, because it is really a Tashkent, just with better guns and rolling smoke, really. So this is, of course, an Agile Adriatico here. And that sounds nice, doesn't it? Agile Adriatico. I think it looks nice and sounds nice. So as you can see, we're running Soundwave with Rune and Baltimore, and on the ship it's also double rudder. You can switch the last rudder here for the RGA, so you can spot other destroyers at 3 kilometers instead of 2. Because one thing Adriatico is really good at is brushing smoke. So if you get in there and you can spot the other destroyer before they spot you, that's preferable. And sometimes I use that, and sometimes I use the rudder. So 5 smokes and 5 engine boosts, and that's really awesome. You can actually use all of them. And look at the reload here, 5 seconds. It's not like YOLO Emilio with 10 seconds, this is 5 seconds, so it's actually usable. That's why, you know, and also 0.9 rudder and 42 knots before speed boost. You know, with speed boost you can hit 50 plus knots. So I played, 11 battles, and you know, winning is pretty easy in this ship here. It's you know, spot, and once you get the opportunity to rush someone's smoke, you do that, and you may not get the kill yourself, but you will certainly spot the other destroyer, especially if you have the RGA mod. So run the rudder or run the RGA mod in the 3rd slot. That seems to work really well, because you don't have a sonar in this destroyer here, so once you know, jump from smoke to smoke, which is something this ship does really well, I'll get back to that later. You know, you can use your RGA mod to spot the other destroyer quickly, and you can even stealth fire it, actually, because the detection in smoke when you fire in this thing here is 2.9, and if you keep the other destroyer at 3 kilometers, you can technically stealth fire it, and that's of course handy. You can also build into that, of course, if you want that. I haven't tried that myself, but I imagine that will be pretty good as well. So I much prefer Adriatico over Tashkent, actually, and that's saying a lot, because Tashkent is one of my absolute favorite ships in the game, because it's just so much fun. But Adriatico is even more fun, and why is that? Well, because it is a Tashkent, except you have 12 kilometer torps instead of 8 kilometer torps, and you have 5-second reload instead of whatever it is Tashkent has, and of course you get the excellent speed boost here, like really powerful speed boost, and you get 5 rolling smokes. So it's really awesome. You have a lot of equipment here, and the reload on these consumables here is really fast as well. It's about 1 minute and 10 seconds or something, so you can actually make use of all 5 very easily in a battle. And I think in this battle here I use all 5 of everything, and I do that all the time, really. And you know, I highly recommend that you know, get as many rolling smokes as possible, because that's what makes this ship here fun. The way that you can just, you know, waltz around the map as you like. Don't worry about concealment, because the concealment is awful with this build here. It's almost 7 kilometers, or actually more than 7. I think it's 7.6 or something like that. So you will need those rolling smokes to do the actual DD work, right? But once you're up close and personal, the Agile build allows you to dodge and you know, get all guns on target and do all the usual Agile things. And here we get the Yugumu, because he didn't know where we were in the smoke, and he wasn't ready for that. So the Bugonia takes the opportunity to get a cheeky shot in, but all I gotta do is just get into cover here, and then I'll wait for my next rolling smoke, and then we're going to take the fight to his side of the map. So I like this ship because it's quirky and it's different from normal. I mean, you can play this thing with a normal concealment build and do all the usual boring destroyer things, but I mean, I don't understand why every ship has to have the same meta build. So I am going all in on getting this ship to work with something else than a concealment build. So this build here is, you know, just like Tashkent. It's a mini cruiser with very good detection that you can use to whack destroyers with, really. And of course capping, and you can also spot with it, because it only has 7 point whatever detection radius, So of course other DDs will outspot you, but also showing later in this battle here, anything that is a battleship or a cruiser, you can spot it easily, even with a non concealment build. So I like the ship much better than Paolo Emilio, because I think the reload is just too long on Emilio to make it useful. I mean, if you rush someone in Emilio, you have to use torps to take them out, while in Adriatico, if you switch to sap shells, you can take out other destroyers in 2 salvos. Especially gearings, for some reason, just seem to evaporate once you fire sap shells into their broadside, which is of course very, very useful. And this is a tier 8, right? And legendary destroyers, they just seem to melt, like I said, especially gearings. I don't know, maybe the armor is, I don't know, whatever, but it's very, very quick to dispose of in Adriatico. So the best thing about this ship is obviously the rolling smoke, because it's just so handy, and the fact that you can shoot until enemies are 2.9 kilometers from you means that you can actually use this smoke a lot, and it also lasts really long. I believe it's 40 seconds. So that's much faster than the cruisers, and I really don't understand why the Italian cruisers are getting shafted on their smoke duration, but I don't know. The destroyer here is certainly getting how it should be. I think just like the battleships, they also have a longer smoke. So at this point of the battle here, I'm just going to go into more of a spotting mode here, because we've taken out a destroyer, we've kept, and we've taken out a battleship. So let's see if we can, stay out of trouble for a little bit, because I'm very low on hit points here now. I don't have a heal in this ship here. But of course, in Tashkent, I don't usually have a heal either, because I usually pop the speed boost on that thing. But I think a heal would be really nice on Adriatico, or at least like the option of a heal. But I don't think I would pick it anyway, because the speed boost is just fantastic. Like it's near instant. Like you can really feel this boost. It's not like Republic, for example, where when you put the speed boost on, you're like, I don't feel anything different at all. But at Adriatico, you can really feel it. And I pop it on here. It only lasts for 25 seconds, right? But it does get you up from 40 something knots to above 50, and the acceleration is also really, really good. So if you use this, you can actually pop from one cap to another cap really, really quickly. And if you get spotted on the way because of the bad concealment with this build here, just pop one of your rolling smokes, and it's all good. And that's how I play this ship here. And I've only played 11 battles with this build, and it works out really well. It does. It really does. Now, I'm not gonna lie, it does take a little bit of getting used to, getting into the good old Tashkent days of, quick maneuvering in destroyers, but the 0.9 rudder, which is extremely fast, one of the fastest in the game, it really helps. So you can dodge shells quite easily in the ship here, especially because you're going 40 plus knots or even 50 plus knots. And using that rudder, you can, evasion tank yourself out of trouble for a while. Of course, it's never as good as an actual concealment build if you're going to play towards that, right? If you put this build on Adriatico, you cannot play it like a normal destroyer. You'll get wiped out. You have to play it more like a cruiser, really. A very aggressive cruiser, that is, because this is not a very good defensive build either. You need to get in there. You need to use that rolling smoke to whack the other destroyers quickly and, right off the bat. That's the best way to do it. So here I get spotted at 7.4, but it's okay. I just pop the rolling smoke, and Alaska gets in a salvo, so he's moving in, so that means, okay, we're gonna get out of here. We don't want to face him with 3,500 hit points left. I was hoping to cap, and I'm still gonna try to do it, but obviously the Alaska is moving in, so I was, gambling. He probably doesn't have a radar. We'll see, because I really want this cap here. So I'm going to get as close as I can to the edge, and if he gets into the cap before I finish capping, then I'll just run away. And if not, then I'll grab the cap, and then I'll run away, because I'm not going to take on this Alaska here. I need some backup. So, is Adriatico worth, grinding up to tier 8 in the Italian destroyer line, which is a pretty awful line, I will tell you that. I mean, this is the only ship in the line that I like, and I really like it though. Anything else, tier 7 and down, is just, yeah, pretty, well, not very good. Let's just put it like that. I don't think so anyway. Adriatico is good, and it's fun. That's the most important thing. And I can use a different build. I don't have to put a concealment build on this thing here, and I can still perform well in it. So that's the most important thing for me. So now we just gotta get rid from this Alaska here. Now I didn't get the cap, fortunate, but that's the way it is. So in other words, this is one of the only tier 8s, tech tree tier 8s, that's not a battleship, which I would recommend, simply because it's different, and it provides, you know, a different gameplay experience, and it's fun. It really is fun. It takes getting used to, yes, and you know, but also if you don't want to put an agile build on this thing, of course you don't have to. Like I said, you can run it with a concealment build, but I don't know. But I kind of want to spec in to at least try out like getting the smoke firing penalty down to, well, as far down as I can. So maybe I'll have a kilometer or so of, you know, stealth firing from smoke. That would be really useful, actually, and something I would suggest someone try out. I will try it out, but right now I'm having so much fun with the agile build that I probably won't do it for a while. And I'm also happy that there's finally a new ship in the game that's actually fun to play. I mean, Lepanto is fun, absolutely, and with Adriatico as well. There's 2 fun ships in this update here, which is, you know, that's pretty rare in this game here, because we've gotten, you know, Tulsa, which is awful. Well, it's not a bad ship, but it's really boring, and there's Salem, which is like even more boring, and yeah. But a good thing we have gotten Adriatico here and Lepanto last update. Like, they're really shaking up the game, at least for me, because I need some new ship to play once in a while, and this is certainly something that I enjoy. So I mentioned earlier smoke jumping in the ship here, and I don't know, I call it that, but it's really when like, you go in towards the middle of the map and you just sit there, have a bit of a spot for your team for a few minutes, and then when another destroyer smokes up somewhere, it can be on the other flank really, you just head quickly in that direction with the speed boost, like get out of dodge really quickly, and use your rolling smoke to get over there. So you have to time the rolling smoke so it connects to the existing smoke that the other destroyer has left, because then you'll be, you know, hidden the whole way, and it's difficult, but you know, it works out really well when you can. And then when you get within 2 kilometers of the other destroyer, you just use your sap shells to take it out really, really quickly, especially if it's a gearing, like I said. I don't know, that's just crazy how quickly they disappear. So it's a Tashkent, but it's a better Tashkent. I mean, it has sap shells. I love sap shells, and I really like them on a fast maneuverable destroyer like this, because you can really pull off some really fun plays in it, and that's one of the, like, you know, the main reasons I play this game, really. It also has 12 kilometer torps, don't forget that, because like compared to Tashkent only gets 8 kilometers, and Kapadovsk only gets 6 kilometers. That's like nothing. You just get a very cheeky torp hit there. and that's why I enjoy this ship here. And I mean, I love long range torpedoes, and I get it along with sap shells and rolling smoke and speed boost and 0.9 rudder. It's just it's a whole package. Well, not the whole package, you don't get sonar, but other than that, or you don't get a heal either. But it's got a lot of hit points, the ship here, so it's not really a problem. You see here, I was pretty active in the first half of this battle here, and then when I got down to 5,000 hit points, I play more of a spotting role here, because I took out the DD, and that's really all that, you know, is required. And then after that, we'll just be a little bit more opportunistic. So should you use the silver and the time and the grind and whatever else is included in getting Adriatico? I think you should. If you at least have a little bit of interest in agile cruisers, then this is a good pick, because it's just like playing Tashkent, just a better Tashkent, really. So if you like playing agile Tashkent, then this is a no-brainer. It really is. It's really good fun. You can also get the gun range up to Tashkent levels, like switch Rune out with Rumble, and of course put the range mod on instead, and you can get it up to at least 13 kilometers. And if you put the legendary mod on as well, or the epic mod, you can get it up even more. So that's another thing I need to test out. So we're getting to the end of the battle here, and we're going to win on points, and that's the way I like it, because when you win on points, it means that you've been playing, at least in most cases, against a red team that's not like totally awful, right? Like they haven't all been sunk in the first 5 minutes. A point win is a good win, in my opinion. So that was an Agile Adriatico, people, and I really enjoyed it. I think it's a fun ship, and I will certainly be playing it a lot more. So hope you enjoyed it, and see you out there.